first thing to realise is that you're an addict. If you can't admit you're an alcoholic, you won't cure yourself. And I think we're a long, long way from admitting we've got a problem as a race.
I'm addicted.
Yeah, especially as a race, but I do think even as individuals, because we don't even see our addiction most of the time.
But you see, we have bodily needs. Apart from greed and everything, we have some basic bodily needs. As long as we are in the body, we have this addiction. We have the grip to maintain the vehicle, the body, and making it a little bit comfortable to avoid pain or discomfort, cold, and whatsoever, and sickness. So it starts from there. Let's commit everybody.
Steve, we actually lost Steven for a second.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. I keep getting cut off. It's not my end though, Mark, because I've got full signal.
Somebody is controlling that resource.
Well, no, it's because you're on Wi-Fi and you get signal interference.
Here's the thing, too. I just want to say this, that the availability of energy resources, expanding those ideas, expanding on that idea, that people can have their own individual. What? People can have their own. Anyway, people can have their own individual energy resources. Then you don't have that control, that complete control. And I think maybe that would be a direction to look into. Then you, in the end of the day, then it goes back to responsibility and choices.
Yeah, that means internal mindset.
Yes.
Internal qualities. You see, for example, now let's assume everybody has abundant energy. So the next thing comes, who has abundant water? For example, or who has abundant space? Or wood, forest, anything. Oxygen. And somebody will say, look, I need more than you, and therefore I'm taking it, So, and there it starts. In one way or the other, you will take it, you will buy it, or you use your advantage, which the economy is giving you, to promote your, let's say, oxygen level from 16% to 21%, so that you can, think clearer, run faster, sleep less, or whatsoever. So you have always this application of Darwinistic principle over another person or another entity, is it not? Because the mindset is there.
And we lost Steven again.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
When I
Sorry,
talk,
I keep getting
you guys
off.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah.
Edina.
Okay, let's play it from a different angle for something completely different. Because Stephen says, we're always looking up at the sky, or we're always looking in front of us, but he's always reminding us to look behind us, or underneath the surface. Let's say part of the problem stems from how we define reality, and I think that this is probably going to sound really esoteric, but when you change the foundation of how you perceive reality, does that then change the way you interact with reality? Does that change your presumptions about what is real and what is not real? If we're going to change, we've got to change to the core. Or otherwise, we're just going to continue to recreate the same thing over and over and over again.
Did you say change to before?
To the core. To the core.
Oh, I think
who we are.
Yeah.
To before, that may be a possibility because there is some indications that there was something before this that was different. But, I don't know how to speak to that. All I can do is speak to what I'm dealing with right now.
Excuse me. Yes. I think if you go to anything backwards, if you look at history for any sort of answer, you're just going to recreate eventually via a different route what you've already got, and it'll be
Yeah.
sicker.
See, it's been my experience. What happens is whenever because the chaos, the upside of chaos is it gives you an opportunity to completely reinvent everything. But what happens is that whenever people get their foundations, their perceptions, what they call real or not real, their assumptions and their presumptions pulled straight out from underneath them, the immediate thing they begin to do to keep their sanity, so to speak, is to recreate what's just been pulled out from underneath them because that's what makes them feel safe. So if you become flexible enough, adaptable enough to be willing to, when everything is pulled out from underneath you, see things in a completely, like you say, from underneath the surface, from a completely different angle, from the left, from the right, rather than always recreating it. Yeah. Does that change the dynamics sufficiently enough, total change, to the core of how we even perceive reality? What does that do for us? And then put it into practical application, nuts and bolts.
What were you saying, Stephen?
I'm sorry, mate. I know it's annoying. I keep getting cut off. I don't know what end it is, mine or yours, but it's a pain in the arse.
It can't be my end, dude. I'm only on like one big Skype call. That's the only on the thing, but
I'm on Wi-Fi in a house, and I've got full signal, so I don't know what to tell you, mate. But anyway, apologies. Can't help it. Not doing it deliberately. There's no helicopters here, you know.
It could just be dropping out every now and then. Wi-Fi does that.
Yeah, no, there's actually a large spaceship hovering above this house right now, and it's distorting the signal. That's what I think it is. Either that or it's the old dear next door playing the spoons. Anyway.
They're resonating with your DNA.
The spoons?
Yeah, the spoons. It's you slap them together, it's crap, but everyone thinks it's great because I don't know why, but they do. Anyway, moving on from the spoons.
I know how to play spoons.
Do you?
Actually, I want to respond a little bit to what Edina has said right now. See, I think what we are here, more or less, Earth is like a playground for soul development, and everybody has the individual, how to say, garden of choices in which way he wants to go, and even in this upcoming chaos, which is obviously coming up, there will be these points, ways which you choose to go, and environments or situations which you choose to enter, which are more or less, how to say, intensifying your soul growth. So as much more challenging the environment becomes, as much more you have the ability to learn, adapt, and grow. I think if everything would be nice and comfortable and rosy, and people tend to get a little bit, how to say, inert, and this is actually what I think is coming up. It's like an acceleration of individual growth paths, and many people will not make it. But that's also, it's not a pitiable thing, because from their personal point of view, maybe they have decided to experience that one. It's a personal decision, and the question is of you whether you will always bring a kind of guilt with it. For example, I see it in my neighbor, in the neighboring environment of myself, people whom I know and who I'm attached to, but I cannot talk to them about these things coming up. They will just continue they will continue to ignore it, what I'm saying, and the warnings I'm trying to give them. And obviously this is the kind of experience they have chosen to experience, to ignore a certain warning and put their heads into the sand, and to have a rude awakening in one way or the other. And then from this experience you go into the next life, what to say, and have incorporating this experience into your soul growth. This is how I see things.
There went Stephen again.
Yeah, I was talking to Edina, not to Stephen.
Yeah, well, I'm listening to what you're saying because you're looking at it again outside of the physical dynamic, outside of defining who we are or identifying ourselves with just our physical vehicles, our physical bodies. And then it becomes that we're driving meaning and
No, it's not like that. You see,
Go ahead.
it's not the attachment of the physical body. You have chosen this body as a kind of avatar to have these experiences. So it's a channel for the soul for these having these experiences and providing a possibility of growth, of learning through the choices which you can make through this avatar which you have. So it's not that.
Oh my, we really lost Stephen.
Yeah. So you have lost already hundreds of times your body. So it's not something which you have to cling on it, and it's not a loss, because you have done it already before. But the only thing you will assume a loss because you can't remember it. That's it. But we all know it's going to happen.
Guys, why are you all typing?
Sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, but
Thanks, Cindy.
Edina, the point is we are recording it, and we are not recording the typing. So whatever you type here, you just say something, jumping into an abyss. And,
Okay,
it's lost in the discussion,
Yeah.
and we are losing the thread of the discussion. That's it.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to read what Cindy said because I think it's interesting. Do you think that there's that much wrong with you, Edina, that you need to change from the foundation? I think you're okay. I like you plenty. So I'm saying thank you to Cindy. But my answer to that was I'm not necessarily thinking in terms of right or wrong, but in discovering a completely new way of being, which kind of dovetails to what you're talking about, Bashti, about potential, growth potential. We have enormous opportunity here for growth potential from that point of view. So we can look at what we're losing, or we can into what's the opportunity here. That's another way.
Yeah, and you see, some people are saying, we have to change our consciousness, and then we will go into ascension. This is a kind of dogmatic thinking that everybody will be happy if we are going into ascension. I mean, you are depriving some souls of the possibility of experiencing the failure of which they are maybe they have to experience it to grow. So this.
Well, I don't know if I'm depriving anybody of anything. I don't really buy into the ascension thing, by the way.
Yeah.
That
This is what I mean. I mean, this ascension thinking is a lack, because you are focusing on one thing, and it's coming out of the fear that we have to think like this, and if we think bad, other things will materialize. This is a kind of, in my opinion, a kind of fear-driven thing. In my opinion, it's possible.
Are you talking about ascension thinking or about what I just said?
Yeah, I talk about the same.
Okay, because what I'm thinking is not the same thing as that. You got whenever you have something that it's like when you take something completely down. Let's say we've created this, okay? Now it's being completely knocked out. We have an opportunity here. We can create something completely different. We will continue to create the same thing if we think to ourselves, nah, we don't have that opportunity. All we can do is just continue to create what we've always known. That's one way to look at it. I like magical thinking. But it's not necessarily thinking in terms of being unrealistic with reality. I think anybody who talks to me knows I'm pretty realistic. So whenever you say there's no solutions if you keep doing the same thing.
You got to find something new.
There may be. You don't know unless you're willing to look. If you're not willing to look, well then you're never going to know.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Steven said he's just gonna try later, so you guys know, because he kept coming in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Can you guys hear me okay now, though?
Yeah, you're too loud, actually.
You always say that.
No, I think I can hear you fine.
I'm gonna start calling him dashi. You know what dashi is? A bland Japanese fish broth.
Okay. Yeah, so but what I think from where Stephen is coming is he's looking at the situation in which we are right now. Right now we are a tanker, a 100,000 brutto register tons tanker, which is going in one direction, and we have a small wooden rudder, and this small wooden rudder is not changing the direction of the tanker. But if we would have been a small sailboat with, let's say, 10 people on it, then that small wooden rudder would change the direction. And we would be sailing into the sun, how to say, But now, right now, this tanker is on collision course. That is what I think. This is from where it's coming from.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if we look at it from that possibility, I liked his sniper analogy in the thread that he wrote. It's a long shot, and we have to be realistic about that. So, but that doesn't mean let's not go for it, because whenever your tanker is about to go into or your train's about to hit a wall or whatever, your choices become limited at that point.
No, they become more intense, not limited, intense, I would say.
Well,
all right, hey, we got another caller. Billy's in. What's up, man?
Hey, Billy.
So, Billy, what is your question?
I think he just got here.
My question is, okay, right.
Okay.
So there's originally 33 sparrows. Okay, were they European or African sparrows?
How do you know the velocity of a sparrow?
And also, like the moon, yeah. It's like how many sparrows had to pull the moon into position to make sure that everything didn't go crazy and we all died?
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's a combination of cross-torsion exertion fields from the spirals themselves.
And right, okay, I know a guy called Torsion, okay? He's German. And I always get his name wrong.
Why?
I think it's meant to be Torsten. But I always call him Torsion.
That is funny. Okay, so where were we? We need, I don't know, something to talk about, huh?
Yeah. So anyway, I was reading something interesting about Amy Winehouse. She sang at Michael Jackson's cremation.
What?
Amy Winehouse sang at Michael Jackson's cremation.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I think she did Back to Black.
The AC/DC song?
Sorry?
Okay, we call Billy. Our IQ's just dropped 30 points. Must be a superpower.
Billy is the master of chaos.
I'm the roast master.
A master something. I'm not sure quite what.
So, Billy, what do you think about putting pressure on humankind to change their direction? Yes. Yes.
Well, Bill.
I don't think pressure's the right word, Bashi. I would say just educate people to think for themselves would be a start. And if people thought for themselves, everything else would fall into place.
But they are not thinking for themselves. That's
Yeah,
that's
not
that's
a
an if.
responsibility.
That's an if. We have to talk about what we have now. Not wishful thinking. Not if the aliens would come and educate everybody and so on. No. We have right now a situation where people are just running blindly the trodden path to the end until they've hit the concrete wall. The question is now, should the concrete wall be moved 10 meters in front so that they hit it a little bit earlier and then they have to still 10 meters to think about? Or should they walk till the end and fall off the cliff?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you can use allegories to describe this, really. I would say the first thing you have to do is ask people questions. If you ask them questions, then they question things themselves. And it's about creating a thought process that does not involve just being told and to follow blindly. But that's nothing new. You can try that. I mean, every music band since the 1960s has been saying that, and that's why the most people that think for themselves are musicians.
Somebody got a blink.
That's the thing. You can't force people to think.
Who went blink? All right, never mind. Somebody tinged or plinged or something.
I think it's my phone, Mark.
Oh, God. The phone.
I'll turn it off.
Yeah, so, like, everybody listening can hear you all surfing and shit for those of you on laptops.
I'm not here. I'm listening.
They can hear what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I'm just kidding.
He was finishing up Billy's work for him.
I thought he was doing what Roger does in his spare time with Stephen. You are amazing.
Well, you know what? We've reached our 2-hour thing. Are we going to keep going or what?
I don't know. What do you guys want to do?
I got to take off.
care.
I only allotted about 2 hours of my time. I got to go get some lunch.
Yeah, I think we should be a little bit disciplinary, to ourselves and control ourselves and say, okay, that's it for now, and let's not extend this 2 hours. We can continue next week.
And let's not prolong their misery.
For another 2 hours.
All right. Well, all right. We're ending the show here. So everybody listening, we'll see you on the forum. Hit us up, Skype, Shoutbox. We'll be around.
And I will try to bring the recording if it worked, and load it up, and everybody can.
Did you record this, Bashy?
Yeah, I think so. It's my first trial on that one. Let's see whether it worked.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think considering that nothing was scripted and we just went off, it was not bad. I said from here on out, when we have it set up and we're prepared, I think it'll be great. It works. It seems to work just fine, except for my echo, which I'm sorry about. I'll fix that next time, though.
Yeah, I think it was a great discussion, and I really enjoyed that one.
You're welcome back. I did my best.
Good day, everybody.
All right, I'm
Okay,
back.
I'm also saying bye-bye.
Okay, good night, everybody, or good day. Good night, good morning, good afternoon.
Quitters.